spotlight, shine them bright. Gonna have a brand new show tonight with glitz and glam on the marquee. Perhaps a Tony nominee. Stars beam brightly, see them glow. Sell out nightly, SRO. It's time to applaud the Broadway Beat. Stars beam brightly, see them glow in the footlights of a show. Life is sweet on the world's most famous street.
Tickets, please.
Take a seat
Cue the band.
and have your feet to the rhythm of the Broadway Beat. The Broadway Beat. Broadway Beat.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge, and welcome to Broadway Beat, our behind-the-scenes look at the very best of what the New York theater has to offer. This week we catch up with the cast of Lin-Manuel Miranda's pulsating musical In the Heights, which is just opened on Broadway at the Richard Rodgers Theater after a 6-month run last season off-Broadway. But let's start things off with the Obie and Drama Desk award-winning Transport Group and a look at their latest, the world premiere musical Marcy In The Galaxy, which features book music and lyrics by Nancy Shane based on a story by Miss Shane and Michael Patrick King. The musical, which stars Donna Lynn Champlin, Terry Ralston, and Janet Carroll, is directed by Transport's artistic director, Jack Cummings III, who invited Broadway Beat into the rehearsal studio to give you a sneak peek at this new musical, which will open on April 6th at 220 East 4th Street. For tickets and more information, visit www.transportgroup.org. Now here's a look at Marcy in the Galaxy.
Transport Group was founded by myself and my former partner, Robin Hussa, who has moved to Wisconsin to start another organization. But the two of us had gone to graduate school together at the University of Virginia, and we both moved to the city. And we were here about 5 years, and we had worked and collaborated a lot together. And we had done a benefit reading of Our Town, in which the George and Emily were played by older actors in their 60s, and the stage manager was played by a young girl. And I really wanted to produce it on a full level, with critics coming and everything. And so the two of us met and decided to do that. And then a week later we said, we feel we have a lot more work like this that we want to do, that we feel like is important. And so we just decided to go from there. And that was 5 years ago.
The new musical has had a long journey and a new journey. It began as a one-act. It was a one-act a long time ago called Two Bitter Women in a Coffee Shop. And it was a pretty successful one-act. And then I wrote a few other one-acts and decided to take these stories and merge them into one story. So this is the version that we're working on, and that seems to be the one that I'm most excited about right now.
Well, how did you originally come up with the idea to do this?
I was in comedy, and I knew a lot of bitter women. And I decided that the way I could myself not to become bitter was to musicalize bitter people, so that I could always have the view and at the same time keep myself in check and laugh. And at the same time I had a personal tragedy, and I decided to contrast bitter people with hope. And that's really how it started. And from juxtaposing these two things together, I found a story that I liked, and it kept building.
Well, tell me about the story. Talk about the journey of these characters. So, for an audience who has yet to buy tickets to the show, tell me what the show is about.
The story is about, I like to concentrate on my own sex. I think we need more stories about women. And I like to write about people who are ordinary, the ones basically that we pass by every day and have no idea what they're thinking or what they do. And this is about a woman at a certain point in her life, and she's not old, but she's not young, who has been pounding the pavement in her own way as an artist for years. And not much has happened, and I wanted to explore what is the inner life on a late night in a diner in New York City of someone who still has dreams, and somehow to make that extremely moving and extremely funny, which it is.
I play Marcy, and it's Marcy in the Galaxy, as in the Galaxy Diner. And she's a painter, and she's very talented, and she's very good at what she does, but, you know, she's in her late 30s, and she's only gotten to a certain point in her career, and it's that question that we all ask when you're sitting in a diner by yourself, going over your bills and trying to figure out whether or not to take that temp job that you know will suck the soul out of your body. You know, what happened? Or, you know, was it a choice that I should have made, or is it just the powers of the universe, or is it just some people become huge successes and some people don't, and do I still have time? And it's that question that every artist has. It's that balance between your work and the business, and surviving the business and becoming at a certain point and getting recognition and being talented and being in that place where you're like, I want to do more, I need to do more, and yet I'm stifled by the career that I'm in, you know, and who's to blame and how does that come down? And so that's, for me anyway, that's the storyline that Marcy has. It's that big question of, you know, what do I do, and what does it mean, and who am I, and, you know, it's that kind of thing. So,
well, I play Marcy's mother, and my husband has died, and I do a lot of cruises, and I'm very concerned about my daughter because she's an artist and struggling to succeed. So I've got that thing of, you know, wanting to help someone you love, my daughter, succeed, and I make a lot of really stupid suggestions, you know, but it's a really a lovely role.
Well, I play Joyce, who is a bitter woman. She wanted to be a dancer. She always wanted to be a dancer, and her mother was not a nice person and wouldn't let her be a dancer. So now she works the night shift at Kinko's. So yeah, it's sad yet funny.
So I know we're early in the process of all of this. Tell me what you think of the score.
I love the score. I think Nancy has a very, very singular voice and a very female voice. And I think to support that is an amazing thing. I applaud the transport group.
Dorothea, I'm going to say she's sort of like every woman over a certain age. She's had experience. She's been married and had relationships, and she's had various jobs and various levels of education and various ventures into art and God knows what to survive. And she's somewhat rigid, even though she's into, say, meditation, metaphysics. She talks the talk, but I don't know that she's really totally lived into all of this stuff. She's sort of caught between her ears. Journals, everything. Her journal is her Bible, and so it's kind of insular. You know what I mean? Joyce is her sounding board to a certain extent, but she feels superior to most everybody. So she sits in this diner for hours on end going over things. And if I hadn't married Skippy and gone to the Harmonic Convergence in '84, God knows what could have happened, you know. But then again, you know, it's just hilarious. It pondering and posturing and crabbing, and, you know, it represents bits and snatches of everybody.
I play Sharon, Marcy's twin sister. We are of different age because Marcy only sees Sharon as never having aged past 21. I exist in Marcy's memory and in her imagination, and so that's why we don't exactly look alike, and we're not the same age because I never age past 21, according to Marcy.
And what attracted you to the piece?
Particularly nowadays, it's difficult to find a piece that is completely creative and created by, not based on a movie, not based on anything. It's completely created by somebody, the music, the lyrics, the book, and that's what I have an allegiance to right now. It's what mostly artistically satisfies me nowadays.
January 1st, the only day of the calendar year, not too crazy, most customers collect, for once their concerns seem out of sight, and on January 1st, the past, the present, and the future converge, yet the Greek gods are resting, tonight not investing in what goes on in a small Greek diner, and the neighborhood has changed in Midtown Manhattan, but inside this diner much the same. Many customers gone, but the ones who stay, I can't remember their name.
I play Steve, the Greek waiter. The whole play takes place in a diner, as you probably heard already. And he's kind of a very stereotypical Greek waiter, the kind that very few words, but you know there's a lot going on. And he also serves as kind of the kind of consciousness, a kind of a higher consciousness of all the people in the play, and sort of sees in the women what they're not showing, and just in a few words mirrors that back to them. So it's really a great part. He's kind of the bridge between the ladies in the play and the audience, and kind of everything that's not being said. And I get to use a great accent. So there you go.
Well, we are. I feel so lucky that we have these amazing, actors of all ages who are willing to come down, and work in nonprofit theater. I think that in New York, one advantage we have is being in New York, and so people don't have to leave town on a really practical level. But I think more than that, I think it's the type of work we do, along with some other great companies, obviously. But I think it gives people a chance to do work that they just wouldn't get to do a lot or anywhere else. Offbeat stories, and if not an offbeat story, a story told in kind of an experimental way, more or less. And it really is a chance for them, we try, to have it be an experience that is, to use the old phrase, it's really just about the work. It's not about the paycheck. And it's a chance for them, I think, for people to, to really explore, Donnelly Champlin, carried on her shoulders The Dark at the Top of the Stairs, last year. It's only her second play in New York. And, especially for the younger people who get, the younger people in musical theater, I think, who get a lot of very commercial work thrown their way, there are lots of opportunities there. I think that the type of work we're doing is an alternative, and I feel like when they can, they like to take advantage of it. And so.
And I have to, not react tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the pounding begins. They are building a building next to my building. They are blasting a building in front of my building. They are building a building right behind my building. And the blasting and the drilling and the pounding and the banging and it's unrelentless. I can hear my voice and the plaster is falling right on the ceiling. It's so goddamn noisy. But it's January.
After a 6-month run last season off-Broadway, Lin-Manuel Miranda's award-winning musical In the Heights has just opened on Broadway at the Richard Rodgers Theater. We caught up with Lin-Manuel and his cast, which features Mandy Gonzalez and Priscilla Lopez, and the creative team at their recent opening night celebration. Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical In the Heights is about a vibrant and tight-knit community at the top of the island of Manhattan. The music pulses with hopes and dreams of 3 generations as they struggle to forge an identity in a neighborhood on the brink of transition.
What was it that touched you originally from that demo?
You know, there was something that I think that I was searching for, which is about belonging to something larger than myself, and that idea of community. I'd come from playing sports my whole life. I was not a theater kid. So when I stopped playing sports, I understood the mentality of being on a team. And when I got to college, I didn't understand not having that. And theater is basically like a big team, and directing and coaching are very similar. So I felt more comfortable having a role in a group of 20 as opposed to being just by myself spinning around in college. So that's what kind of brought me into theater, and that's what I responded to immediately when I first heard that demo.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. I mean, even tonight, I was so distracted in the show tonight because the show brought up so many memories of the journey for me. I moved here 18 years ago, and all along the way, there's just been invaluable lessons and working with truly inspiring people, and all that information and all that experience brought me to tonight and helped me to, with these guys, create the show. So it's just been really a dream.
You have such a wonderful vocabulary, because I watched the dances again on Friday, and so many of them are character-driven, yet the street stuff you do, I mean, where did you find it?
You know what it is? I'm a character-driven choreographer first and foremost, and then each show calls for different vocabulary. With this show, I had to sort of create and learn about a lot of different street-based styles, and I had a lot of people helping me and working with me in the studio, and we found it together. And it's at its core, it's a very low-to-the-ground athletic choreography, because what I do is 1940s, 1950s primarily, and it's not too different from that, actually.
I started writing it in college, my sophomore year, and then, I finished college. And then from 2002 to now, it's been a series of readings and workshops and going to the O'Neill and being in the basement of the drama bookshop and sort of never knowing what's next, but always just trying to make the show better. And that's really Thomas Kail's great strength as a director. No matter what was happening, he would say, well, bring in something next Friday. Bring in something next Friday. And so we were always working on the show. I've been working on this show my entire young adult life. And so tonight, I feel a real sense of accomplishment.
Talk about what hits the audience's heart, because you have such a diversified group that comes to this show. I mean, I looked at the audience Friday night. You had the hippest audience. You had an older audience, a younger audience.
Yeah.
Talk about that and what touches them, do you think?
Well, I got to watch the show last week. We swung in my understudy, Javi, so I could take notes. And I had a lady behind me who said, I'm Jewish. We came here after World War II, and that's it. You got it. And, there's no Jewish people on that stage, but the immigrant experience is one of, I think the universal things that happen are, we do the jobs that no one else is willing to do. And our parents sacrifice, and they do stuff they don't want to do so that we can do better than they did. And I will do the jobs that no one else wants to do so that my kids can do better than I did. And I think everyone responds to that. I think that strikes a really universal chord. Me and my cousin running, just another dime a dozen, mom and pop stopping, shopping. Oh my God, it's gotten too darn hot. Like my man Cole Porter said, people come through for a few cold waters, and a lottery ticket just a part of the routine. Everybody's got a job. job. Everybody's got a dream. They gossip as I sip my coffee, you smirk. The first stop is people hop to work. Bust it. I'm like $1, $2, $1.50, $1.69. I got it. You want a box of condoms? What kind? That's 2 quarters. 2 quarter waters. The New York Times, you need a bag for that. The taxes got it. Once you get some practice at it, you do rapid mathematics automatically. Selling maxi pads, fuzzy dice for taxi cabs. Practically everybody's stressed, yes, but they press through the mess, bounce checks, and wonder what's next in the heights.
No, it's so exciting to be in that place of a new musical, and especially this one being the first successful Latino musical, you know, that is just hitting all the right chords because it has a lot of heart and based on such reality. And it's very exciting because the energy that comes to us when we're on stage from the audience, there's no denying it. They're getting it and they're understanding it and they're enjoying it.
And talk about this great family. Everybody loves each other up there, don't they?
They really do. You know, I mean, it sounds corny, blah, blah, but it's true. It's just a fact. And I think the audience feels that from us on stage. I mean, it's a company of incredible support for each other and respect for each other. And we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
You have one dressing room off Broadway. All the ladies shared one dressing room off Broadway. Weren't you all together?
Yes, we were. I kind of miss it a little bit because sometimes I don't get to see everybody as much as I would. But then at times I just love having my space and my quiet. And so, you know, but yes, it's a little different now. But
welcome home. It's great to have you back. It's great to have you on Broadway again. I know it's such a wonderful show.
It is, and I'm blessed.
I love playing Benny because he is a young man who's trying to find his way and making mistakes and daring to love and daring to envy or want to pattern himself after Kevin and having some scars and some scratches and bruises and still getting right back up and trying again. You know.
You were so wonderful to watch up there. Congratulations. Welcome to Broadway and enjoy your journey, man. You deserve it.
Oh my God, Abuela Claudia is she's just like an epic mother. She's a very giving, it's that woman that's always there for you. And in the Latino culture, you know, we really honor our elderly. We don't like throw them away in a nursing home. We really take care of them. And it's a privilege to play this wonderful lady, Abuela Claudia. It's a challenge every night to become this elderly lady. You know, it's not in my nature because I'm my energy is very up and I'm very energetic. And so this woman is, you know, it's got a whole different rhythm that I have to get into every night.
Learning the ropes in America. En español I remember dancing with Mayor LaGuardia. All of society welcoming mommy and me. If I bring bad boys, they can't tolerate the noise. And that's okay, cause I never let them stay. And one day, I'm hopping in an elevator train and I'm riding away. Yeah.
I play Vanessa, the girl who wants to go on to bigger things. I think pretty much everyone's got that girl in her, you know. And I fell in love with Usnavi, and that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to ruin it.
What do you think? Talk about this wonderful score that Lin-Manuel's given you.
Well, I'll say this: the first time that I heard the score, I was on the subway, and I kept looking around, thinking, "Oh my God, no one knows. No one knows what I'm listening to." And if they only knew, they'd want a copy of it. It's infectious. I hear it all the time. It's beautiful and it's current and it touches you. It just gets you. Yeah, I guess that's yeah.
I play Kevin Rosario, the dad of the family. I own the dispatch service and. You know, he's like a lot of fathers, just trying to do the best for his family. And, you know, he goes through some tough times with the people in the barrio, but at the end, he kind of gets what he wants. And I think it's a metaphor for a lot of parents that are in Latin situations that are trying to better themselves.
Best part of the experience for you has been what so far?
Best part of the experience has been really meeting this family of incredible artists, young Latin, Lin-Manuel. The creative power that is on that stage every night is mind-blowing. I did theater like 12 years ago. I went back to LA. I've been doing LA. I've been doing films and television. I'm back with the show, and I'm just like blown away with the talent that is here, and just thrilled to be back on stage.
Well, I've never created a role on Broadway. This is a first for me, and I am ecstatic. It's been so much fun, really. I've tried just really hard to bring an authenticity to this character, and a lot of times it made people laugh, and I hope that that's because they recognize somebody familiar to them in it.
Is that why you think audiences fall in love with you? Because they do immediately. As soon as you walk out and you start, you've got them in the palm of your hand. Why do you? Yeah.
I think everybody has a little somebody in their life like that. Somebody who's a gossip, somebody who shoots straight from the hip. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that they do. I can honestly, maybe it's because I love her so much. I'm loving doing this show.
That's what I love. I love doing new works, and you always hope that it'll go, and that this will be the one that'll make a difference, and this one does make a difference. I've always wanted to be a part of something when I started in this business that means something, not just to me, but to people in the audience, and this is that for me. So it's a dream come true, really.
Talk about this great role that Lynn's given you.
Nina is in an amazing role. She's amazing. She has such a great arc and story, and I think there's a little bit of Nina Rosario in all of us that tries to hold on to her roots while trying to progress to the future. So I think...
Talk about the wonderful audience, youngsters, old people, middle. I mean, it touches everybody.
Everybody's touched by this show and loves it. So it touches everybody. My 4-year-old nephew came the other day and was like, I loved it. Like, he remembered everything about it, and it touches everybody. And to be part of something like that is just, it's a dream.
This was your home.